On a scorching April weekend in the 702, the Saskatchewan Rush make their Vegas debut. Lying in wait, the inaugural Desert Dogs have one more chance at home. Tonight, the sun sets on the 2023 season. It is week 22, the finale of the NLL regular season. The march to May, nearly complete. From Michelob Ultra Arena, it's the Las Vegas Desert Dogs against the Saskatchewan Rush. And welcome in once more with Doug Bellamy, AJ Cannell. Doug, whatever the final record reads, it's been a great opening season for the Desert Dogs. And my question leading into today's game, how do they use this season finale to build on what they've accomplished so far and parlay it into future success?
I see it like this. Training camp started for the 2023-24 season tonight. Offensively, they got to get clicking. Okay, coming off a 4-goal outing in San Diego, got to see the firepower from Greer and Hellier and Hanna. Defensively, they've got a real matchup, a test tonight against a high-powered offense with a power combo of Matthews and Church.
Let's start on the offensive side, though, and the captain, Rob Hellier, has been doing it all year for Las Vegas.
He's the backbone. He's the captain for a reason. He's an excellent shooter from outside. He dishes the ball like the best in the league. 64 assists is amongst the top. He's a brilliant player.
Hellier has been leading the way as one of the lone veterans on this Vegas side. For more on him, let's go down to Morgan standing by with the captain.
Thanks, AJ. Rob, season 1 in the books. You took a leadership role with this team. So how would you assess what you guys have been able to accomplish this season, and how do you put a bow on it tonight?
I think it's been nothing short of amazing for this group. Coming in, we didn't really have expectations, didn't really know what to expect. Obviously took a while for us to gel, but the midway point of the season, you saw that comeback win from Vancouver and just building off that. So it's an incredible group, one that I'll always cherish and really remember. So it's been a great experience.
Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
AJ?
Morgan, thanks so much. And as for Saskatchewan, it's been a disappointing campaign for them to, for a team that's recently won 3 championships, Doug, to miss the postseason 2 years in a row. That is disappointing, but they've been led all year by Robert Church. He's having one of his most brilliant seasons in his storied career.
He sure is. Since he was drafted in 2013, he's been a consistent 20, 30, 40 goal scorer in 2018. He's already exceeded that with 50 coming into tonight, and it comes from shooting the ball like the best in the league.
Meanwhile, as you take a look at the game winner against Colorado last time out from Church, a big emotional home win in their finale in the SaskTel Center. You look to the other side, a place where Saskatchewan's been searching for answers this year in goal, but Lane Rushka gave them some answers last time out.
Appeared last week like they found an answer. He got an exciting overtime win against the defending champ Colorado Mammoth. He's the first-born Saskatchewan player to dress as a goalie in the NLL. We look to see a lot out of him this week.
Well, let's place your bets one more time. Visiting Saskatchewan has come to make a statement and win back-to-back games to close 2023, while Vegas looks to protect the doghouse and finish above 500 at home. Take a break. Come back and play for Michelob Ultra. A comparison between our guaranteed rate starting goalies. Lane Rushka in his second career game started. He got the win as the first ever Saskatchewan-born goalie to start for the Rush last time out, and Landon Kells missed the last 2 games due to injury. He is back, and for more on Rushka, let's go down to Morgan Worth.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, Lane Rushka quickly became a hometown hero last Saturday when he got the first ever win being a Saskatchewan-born goaltender for the Rush. And I was able to talk to him earlier today, and he said it is something he's dreamed about since he was a little kid, and he knew his friends and family were there watching him. So he relied on his teammates to help him get the win. And AJ, he said he's found a brotherhood with this team, which makes his hometown all the more special.
Kells on the other side out of Fergus, Ontario. 5-8 record, but does not tell the story about how effective he has been as a 22-year-old on the Vegas side. It's the regular season finale, and it is underway on a violation It is Desert Dogs possession. And you just heard from Morgan Worth. I'm AJ Cannell and Doug Bellamy up here above the floor looking on. Vegas comes into this game on a league-high 4-game losing skid. Jack Hanna looking to change matters. But he's stopped on the doorstep by Rushka in the opening possession. Overtime victory for Saskatchewan with the Robert Church game-winning goal over Colorado.
Hanna's been he's been on one. He scored a goal the last three games straight. Looking to make it 4 tonight.
Leader among all rookies in the league in goals scored. This is Rob Hellier, team leader in points, former longtime Toronto Rock. Hellier gets it back. Vegas has struggled to score, in particular in recent games, but Marshall King finds the net. It's 1-0 Desert Dogs.
Marshall King loves that when he comes around the top sidearm. This is exactly what Vegas needs to do to get the W tonight. Come out, score goals, fast, effective. Get that offensive power clicking early. As we mentioned, they struggled last week, but this is a big test for them moving forward tonight against Saskatchewan. This is going to be an interesting matchup too in the faceoff. One of my favorite parts of the game. Messenger, a veteran, been in the league forever, going against Cleland. Both 50% plus faceoff guys.
Cleland had a personal day, as his head coach Sean Williams called it, in their loss on the road at San Diego. He was scratched last time. He's back in the lineup. Mike Messenger can do so many things in addition to win faceoffs for Saskatchewan.
We were this morning watching him at shoot around. That guy's a beast. He's a really big body, big presence out there on the floor.
Pass was looking for Keenan. Getting in the way of it was Kirst for Vegas. It's a 2-on-1. Kirst tries to bounce it for Wagner. Didn't quite work out the way he intended. Rouet made the attempt for the interception there, but instead Keenan striding in, drawing a double as the Rush substitute more offensive players out there. Mark Matthews is stoned, looking to go 5-hole on Kells.
Kells likes that to feel a little bit of rubber early on. It's nice to see him back there in the pipes after getting kind of banged up there at that last home game. It's a scary moment seeing him injured, but I'm really happy to see him back in the lineup tonight, Age.
Trying to push through it and did finish the game as Hanna takes it in opposite side for him on the left for the righty. Of course, talking about sides are relative to where the goaltender is facing. So usually a right-handed player like Hanna is on kind of the left side from the offensive perspective, but the right side from the goalie's perspective.
That's definitely one of the strengths these American players have that are coming out of playing in college. They're gifted with both hands. And Hellier, I don't think he's dominantly a righty, but he plays left just as well. He had a heck of a career at Denver U.
As common pipeline, Denver from college ranks to the NLL. See more players than average out of Denver make it into this league. Hellier loses the ball, picks it back up. Shot clock is a factor. This gets thrown away, and now just a battle until the buzzer sounds. Picked up by the Rush after the turnover.
Denver kind of came out of nowhere. It was over a decade ago now. It seems like just yesterday. 2011, they surprised everybody getting to the semis and the tournament, and they're a college powerhouse. Look at this.
Here's Wagner on the run. Bill Tierney, of course, as this is on the rebound attempted by Kirst, taking over. Now he's retiring this year as the head coach at Denver.
I love how Kirst has come out tonight. He'd already knocked down a pass in the defensive zone. He just had a good opportunity there. He's come to play.
Keenan trying to force the issue for Saskatchewan. Defense hasn't been usually the issue for Vegas, and particularly, Doug, lately it's been just trying to score. 10 goals or fewer in 4 straight games for the Dogs.
As an expansion team, they're just the more time they get to play together, the more consistent they'll be. They've been in really every game except a couple there. But you're right. More goals on the board is going to come create more wins. Looking to do that tonight and progress into next season.
Been missing a couple of their top lefties. Zach Greer is back in the lineup tonight. as Saskatchewan sneaks the goalie off and they go 6-on-5. We talked to head coach Jimmy Quinlan. They like to do this as a surprise attack.
He's aggressive. There's a delayed penalty right now, which is why they're doing this risk-free, but he is an aggressive coach. He'll do it, the final few seconds of quarters, when traditional coaches will, they'll do it when they're down at the end of the game, but he'll do it in the first, second, third quarter if he thinks he's got a chance to sneak in. Quinlan's one of those guys. He takes the risks.
Las Vegas penalty, bench minor, illegal substitution.
It was interesting because I saw Zach Greer actually got checked on his way off. I wonder if that was related to Vegas not getting substituted off in time. He was on his way to the bench and kind of got interrupted. But anyways, you're right, Doug. Everyone's going to go 6-on-5, obviously, when there's an impending penalty. As it's a power play goal, it's Clark Walter scoring his 12th of the season for Saskatchewan. It ties the score at 1.
That ball wasn't in Walter's hands for more than a second. Quick stick down there on the lefty crease. We'll get a replay look at it from here. Backhand pass, quick, and just an instant release. Not much of a chance there for Kels. He's moving well for somebody that had an injured knee. He got across really quickly, but that ball was just pinpointed in the right spot. And Clark finds the back of the net, tying it up at 1-1. He's an old limestone saint, that guy.
2 limestone players on each team. The Reinholdts, the brothers on Vegas. It's Clark Walter is one of the 2 on the Saskatchewan side. Mike Messenger is the other. Pass looking for Marty Dinsdale. He's eventually scooped up by Tor Reinhold. Career high in loose balls this year, over 130. Leads Vegas.
They're being patient here, 5-on-5.
Shot clock down to 4. Firth tried it, didn't get anything, so the shot clock was going to expire. Rebound was pulled in by Saskatchewan anyway.
This is a good opportunity for Firth to show what he's got over there on the left side. Charlie Bertrand still injured and out of the lineup. I hope to see some production from Sammy. He's an all-Canadian up there in Bishop's University. He's one of the few guys in the NLL went to university in Canada, and he's got a heck of a shot from outside.
Matthews lays the lumber on John Phillips for the turnover.
Appears to be a lot of mustaches out there in the green uniforms, doesn't there?
Seems like above league average at least.
Definitely. Yeah, it's Movember's gone, but it's here to stay in Saskatchewan.
Transition attempt intercepted. It's Clark Walter, and he nearly throws it away, but it makes its way to Keenan. Teams finding their bearings here midway through the first quarter. Walter tries to wing one, but it gets caught way up there. Not a clean look. And here come the Desert Dogs.
Torper's gobbling up those loose balls back there on defense. He's got 130 plus this year. Just snagged that one effortlessly.
Here's King, already has 1. Rushka saves it that time. And Rushka's been on the practice squad most of the year. Recently, with Alex Bouquet out, the Georgia castoff, who is originally from Saskatchewan, is getting a look for his hometown team.
See what Vegas is doing here defensively? They're pushing him down.
Quick stick goal. Walter with his 2nd.
It looked like it was being effective there at first. They're pushing him down in the corner. That cross floor pass was too much for Kels to handle. When you get the goalie moving, left, right, left, that's how goals are scored. There's Walter getting his 2nd of the game. That was really nice ball movement. And that's what both coaches looking to do, right? When you start banging the ball east to west, the goaltender's moving back and forth. It's not only his body, but it's his eyes. And it gives these shooters who have pinpoint accuracy, it gives them the opportunity to find the mesh.
Assists by Dinsdale and Keenan that time. Matthews had an assist on Walter's first goal. Of course, we're monitoring Robert Church, who came into the day one off the goal lead in the entire league. He's trying to track down Jeff Teat and win the goal scoring crown this year in the NLL. Pass deflects off of Wagner. It's picked up by Matthews, and then it goes up into the netting, and that will take us to the first timeout of play. The number 9s have been lucky so far here in Vegas. A goal for number 9 Marshall King for Vegas, and 2 for Clark Walter on the Rush side. The March to May is brought to you by NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. And by Guaranteed Rate. Now more than ever, you need the best. It has been a tale of 2 seasons for both the Rush and the Desert. Look, weeks 1 through 12, both were in postseason contention at the very least, but since then, just a combined 3 wins since week 13. And we've been focusing on the Desert Dogs, of course, all year doing the games here in Michelob Ultra, and we know how difficult the schedule has been on the Vegas side.
They've had a really competitive schedule. The likes of playing San Diego 3 times this year, twice at the end of the season. The high-powered offense of the Seals, tough team to beat, whether you're at home or on the road. This unit that's out there right now, quarterbacked by Barkley, he's got just incredible eyes. There he is getting the transition pass out from Kells. And they're getting the ball up the floor quickly. I think Williams wants them to get it up even more quickly, pick up this tempo, game pace. That's the style of play that we've seen him play all year, and let's get that track meet going, huh, AJ?
That's what they're looking for. It's always easier to score when you're in transition or semi-transition. Vegas can go 6-on-5 here. Delayed penalty in effect. Shot clock winding down. Greer, nice idea looking for King, but it didn't work out. So instead they'll go right to the penalty.
This will be the first chance we'll get to see the power play for Vegas tonight. Looks like Jack Hanna, Hellier staying out.
Saskatchewan, 95, 2 minutes, holding the stick.
That is on Jarrett Smith, who is a late blooming player, just like John Phillips, 27-year-old rookie this year. Of course, Phillips actually just turned 28 yesterday as Vegas starts on the power play. With about 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, Saskatchewan already has a power play goal. Vegas has been great on the power play all year. Number 2 man-up team in the league. Hanna sets a screen. King, close proximity. He is stopped by Rushka.
Good patience there. Everybody got a touch of the ball. They were moving it well. As you mentioned, quick pick. Opened them up in the middle there. Quick shot, just a good save by Rushka.
What's the strategy here? Man down offense for Sass.
Get that ball back and don't let them shoot. They'll double up on Keenan here.
The strategy, though, if you're the team with the ball in a man down situation, what are you mostly looking to do?
Well, you're looking to kill as much time off that clock as possible. They kind of seem stagnant. They just let Keenan hold the ball. But a lot of times they'll move the ball up and down the sides, keep the ball deep to prevent the possibility of a quick transition goal.
1 minute left in the power play. Second chance on this man up for Vegas. Second possession. Greer had a chance to step up there and missed a shot wide.
Slower start than we're used to seeing here at home. It's been a bit of a defensive battle. Both goaltenders are holding their own.
Vegas can get the stop here. They'll have one more possession with the man up. Wagner, Reinhold execute double team against Matthews. Power play clock is at 15. Try and sub those O players out as quickly as possible. Hellier initiates up top, around the back. Hannah swims in, and he scores.
Oh, wow. There it is. Jack Hannah
Number one rookie goal scorer this year.
Jack Hannah made that look easy, didn't he? That was fourth straight game he's got a goal. He just pushed that far side. Quick backhand pass from Hellier. Face dodge, one step in towards the net, and the righty pushes it to the far side over Ruska's shoulder. Love to see the rookie scoring and adding to his great season. Big smile on his face over there on the bench. Look at him go.
31st of the year, leads all rookies in the NLL, and is one goal ahead of Greer for number one on the team.
He's so impressive. He's a playmaker. Quinlan was mentioned about guys like Hannah coming into the league, how they're natural athletes, and when the 5-on-5's tight, a guy like Hannah, he mentioned a bunch of other players too, but they've just got the ability to create their own space. He referred to them as being ankle breakers. Remember he said that?
He did. He really respects the one-on-one ability of several players on this Desert Dog side, maybe most specifically Hannah.
He gave some props to this guy with the ball too, Rob Hellier. You know, he's got such quick feet work. His feet move so quickly that he really can put defenders on their heels, hence the term ankle breaker.
Good loose ball there by Smith. Smith is one of those transition players. Russia pretty good D-to transition players, and they have a lot of names offensively. It just for some reason hasn't really come together. Maybe the reason has been some struggles in net this year and just a young defensive side for Saskatchewan.
You know, any team in this NLL, nobody's got an easy schedule, right? You could win or lose on any given night. It's the parity in this league is like no other.
Ellerton tries for a transition look toward Phillips. Good play, back checking by Saskatchewan. Two to two late in the first quarter. Keenan weaving in. He finds Holden Garland, who stays in for the offensive possession, and that whistle will take us to a break. Vegas, Saskatchewan, final game of the season. They're tied at 2.
Back to Michelob Ultra Arena. I'm with Rush head coach Jimmy Quinlan. Coach, earlier this week you told me the key to shutting down Vegas's offense was limiting time and space. How would you evaluate your team's execution so far?
Well, on the times we've done it, we've had success, and then on the times we haven't, they've scored. So, again, that's the chess match. You know, just making sure we're not getting overextended, but at the same time recognizing who wants to shoot, and then, again, getting on their hands.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I think Morgan articulated wonderfully what Coach Quinlan told us earlier in the week, Doug.
Yeah, she's the best. Morgan does an excellent job down there. Quinlan, he's got this team playing. I know he wants more out of them, and you can sure expect them to have a better season next year.
He wants them playing pretty aggressively on the catch on guys like Hellier and Hannah. Doesn't want to give them room to dazzle with their footwork.
When you can shut down the top offensive players of the opposing team, you're going to win ball games. It's a lot easier said than done, but that's definitely their game plan defensively.
Saved by Kells and off the side of the net. That's one thing Vegas did not do in the game in the SaskTel Center earlier this year when Matthews had 12 points, Church had 5 goals, and Keenan had 6 points. The big three all delivering in that 15-10 Saskatchewan win against Las Vegas.
Those two guys really went off against Vegas. 12 points in a game is impressive. 4 goals, 8 assists. It's unreal. And, you know, five goals, just as impressive. Church has had just a banner year. He's been quiet tonight. Haven't seen much of him yet, but don't count on that happening for too long. He shoots a lot. He's got a ton of shots. he practices nonstop. Quinlan was saying that he takes more practice shots than anybody's ever seen.
Matthews' pass is errant. Here's a transition chance for Nick Ellerton. Here he comes, Ellerton, he scores! The Boston University grad makes it 3-2 Desert Dogs.
Beautiful transition goal, fast pace. That's what Coach Williams wants to see. He came out of his own zone like a rocket. Number 12, we're gonna get another look at it, Ellerton. Beautiful, beautiful run, beautiful shot. Here he goes, one-handed scoop. The lefty, one fake, far side pass Ruska's knee. Puts him back on top 3-2. That's a big goal for Nicky.
What did that feel like when you were one on the goalie as a forward?
When you're when you're in alone with the goalie? Well, I was never as quick as these guys, so it happened quite seldom, but you know, that's really your best opportunity to score, I'd say. It happens so quickly, you know, the bit of pressure. You always regret it if you don't score. Ellerton made no mistake there getting his team back on top. I love it.
Remarkable loose ball and clear by John Wagner, who won the Defensive Player of the Year award and the team awards that were handed out pregame.
He has been possessed with loose balls lately. Hit 10 last week against San Diego. He always shows up, man. He's a leader, a pillar on that defense. Wagner is, you know, a guy that I know that the Dogs really hope to come back next year.
Look at that snipe. Zach Greer, section 88, section net.
All-time leading goal scorer when he left Duke. He's showing him how to do it in the NLL still. He's had a historic career, made no mistake there, rifling one past the rookie. Look at him go. He's all by himself. He got a great pick, opened him up, gave him some free room, and he sidearmed that right past Ruska.
Ruska barely even saw that coming. That was such a laser.
That's a guy you don't really want to be facing. Section 88, I love it. The grade 8.
Greer, probably still fair to say nursing an injury, but just trying to gut through it and play in the regular season finale. Hard to say, you know, how many more seasons does Greer have left? He was thinking about retiring for a second time, of course, last offseason. And I think we have a challenge, or excuse me, a timeout.
This is Greer's time, man. He, you know, I never like to think of someone's career ending. A little bit of tape on the ankles, you know, a little bit of rub down. The massage therapist, they're going to keep him in that lineup as long as he can. I know he wants to keep playing. It's such a funny thing thinking about retiring. Once you do, it's hard to come back.
Well, you're a man who would know. You've retired from multiple careers, as you were telling us last night.
Well,
but that was, by the way, Doug, a Saskatchewan timeout. Clarify.
Yes, it was. My lacrosse career was very short, but I've had a good run down here in Vegas in multiple industries, and yeah, this is by far the most fun I've had this last couple months here at the Dog Pound.
Had a great season, great opening season for the Desert Dogs. Final possession, first quarter, weaving in. Matthews just misses.
Wow, I think Kel's got a glove on that. I think he got his hand up. I got to take another look at that one because that may have been the most impressive save of the NLL season.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was the post. We can examine it during the timeout and come back and get you the answer. But Vegas is up by a couple of goals after the first quarter. Welcome back. Here's a shot of Landon Kells into the lineup after missing the last two with injury. And we were wondering about that one-on-one against Matthews at the end of the first quarter. And we can take a look, Doug, and make sure whether this was a post or a save. It's the post.
The ball was moving quicker than the eyes could see. But that is the goaltender's best friend. Those red pipes. That counts as a save for Mr. Kells.
Of course, in the NLL, it's not an either or. It still does count as a save statistically.
That was one of the best saves that post has ever seen.
There you go.
Let's put it that way.
There you go. But the significance, what does Kells mean? Because we can use tonight, really, with both teams out of the playoff mix, to talk about the future, really. That's where everyone's minds are at this point. Of course, these teams are thinking about winning tonight. They're professionals down there, but we can talk about the future. And a 22-year-old Kells and his production this year in goal, what does that mean for Las Vegas?
I think they got a guy that they can work with, right? It's just, time and reps and taking shots. He's a guy that they made adjustments with through the year. Like, he was getting beat high early, and they made an adjustment. He seemed to get that figured out. Right? He's taking some 5-hole goals. They figured that out. He's a quick learner. And, the coaches, Curtis Wager's done a great job with him. Wags played five different NLL teams back in 2006. He was the third-round pick with Edmonton. He's teaching these boys well, and let's not forget where he came from. He backed up Del Bianco, one of the potentially the league MVP this year.
Church reverses field. Matthews shot blocked on the way through, and that was Barclay that gets the block. James Barclay is the all-time leader in single-season shots blocked in the NLL as Turner gets saved. So if that stat gets counted, as I think it will, once again, James Barclay, no player has blocked more shots in a single NLL season. That's his 27th.
That's a phenomenal statistic. Something they didn't used to keep track of, but it's such a critical part of the game.
Goal is in for Dan Lintner, a role player, 30 years old, out of Courtice, Ontario, gets Saskatchewan within one.
He went to the net really hard there. Lintner is a tough player. He's been in this league a long time. Let's take a look at this again on the replay. You see him come in from the right side. He dives. I think Kells was assuming he was going to go far side, but he crossed and pulled that ball back with a twister, finding that top corner over Kells' right shoulder.
They did not give a block to Barclay, so I can pull back that call and save it for later. I swear live I saw that shot from Matthews on that previous possession go right into Barclay, but he has not been credited with a block, so we'll hold that thought, by the way.
Well, it was still a pretty play. They came out of their own zone transition, ripped down the floor, give and go. They had a good scoring opportunity, which I like to see.
Rouet holds possession for Vegas. Let's go down to Morgan Worth.
Thanks, AJ. Yeah, Dan Lintner just scored in. While they're on opposite sides of the ball tonight, Dan and Eric Turner for Vegas have been teammates for a really long time. It started all the way back in the Hill Academy in 11th grade, and then they went on to play together at Cornell. And I actually was able to speak with Eric Turner about Dan Lintner, and he said he's the most unselfish guy, a team-first kind of player, and they're still really good friends, so hopefully they're going to catch up after this game. But AJ, take it away.
Sam Firth catches the back of the net. Puts Vegas back up by 2. Thanks for the report, Morgan.
What a goal. What a grind. Look at Grierzo muscling around, drops the ball, loose ball, quick flip up to Firth, who makes no mistake. Another kind of twisty goal where he catches it on the left side and pulls it back, puts it in front of his body, beating Ruska, putting him back in top by 2, 5-3. Desert Dogs. Michelob Arena's seen some good lacrosse tonight. This crowd looks awesome. It's a sign of things to come. Lacrosse's future's bright here in Las Vegas, AJ. It's a beautiful thing.
And the future could be described as bright for Firth as well. They love his ability to be tough out there as a secondary option, do the little things. He's emerged as a lineup staple. Got him in a trade with Eric Turner, who Morgan was just talking about there, from the Colorado Mammoth preseason.
I ran into Firth at the hockey game the other night, the Golden Knights game 5, and he had a big smile on his face. He was all business, so all he wanted to talk about was lacrosse and coming here tonight, finish the season strong.
Early second quarter, it's been Vegas, for the most part, holding control. Rush briefly had a 2-1 lead, but since then, Vegas has had the advantage. Reinhold picks it up. Now Wagner will hold the ball, Trying to evade some pressure and set things up for his team. He's in some trouble, though. Takes a seat. Ball is loose. Great play there by the captain, Ryan Dilks, for Saskatchewan. And now eventually it's Kyle Rubisch, a legendary defensive player, leading the break. Rubisch is stopped by Kells.
Rubisch has been a staple in this league as long as I can remember. And he's always on the top of the list. You know, he's always recognized in the top players to ever play the game defensively. He's an absolute powerhouse back there defensively.
Looking backdoor there for Hannah. Rubisch last game in their win over Colorado moved into the top 10 all-time in the league in career loose balls. He's playing game number 199 in his career today, Kyle Rubisch.
That's a lot of games. You know, when you're getting close, you're up there at 200 range. It's a long career when you're only playing 20-odd games in a season.
Matthews tries to flip it for Lintner. Goes off the boards. Smith picks it up and shoots low on Kells. But Vegas will take it back.
Kells is looking confident back there. It's nice to see him back. I said that a couple times, but looking forward, getting him the reps tonight. You know, as we said, it's kind of like training camp for next season. Let's see how he improves one game at a time. Every game he seems to be getting better.
The Saskatchewan native Rushka makes the stop against Greer. Smith initiates transition. On the far side, Keenan tried to back his way in. Rush make an additional sub with Walter into the mix. This is Church. Church around the back. What a look, but Dinsdale couldn't finish.
Wow, the Vegas unit is playing defense so well. But guys like Church, I mean, he's squeezed by there, getting around the top, and then just a beautiful backhand pass created a scoring opportunity for Saskatchewan there where Kells was able to make the stop. They did everything they could defensively there. I like what I'm seeing.
Semi-transition for Saskatchewan. It is a goal by Mike Mallory. Recent lineup scratch, gets his way back into the mix, and he's able to deposit that one for Saskatchewan.
He's a quick-footed player, that guy. He's fast. He came out of his own end quickly. He's kind of been in and out of the NLL. He had a couple seasons off and then came back, and then a couple more seasons off and came back. But he's been around for a while, back since 2012. You know, decade playing at the pro level with the big boys. He knows how to find the back of the net.
32 years old, 7th game this year out of Delta, British Columbia. Great face-off win by Cleland, but Rouet is dispossessed by Connor McClelland.
I love Cleland this year in the face-off, Todd. He's over 53%, which is huge, and he's progressively been getting better since the first game. Coming into tonight, he only needed four face-off wins to make it 800 in his career, and that's a lot of face-off wins, man. A lot of possessions.
He should get there easily. Got him in a trade for Frankie Chiliano from San Diego coming in, but Saskatchewan pulls within 1 goal here. Timeout, second quarter.
Welcome back to Michelob Ultra Arena. I'm with Vegas head coach Sean Williams. Coach, the theme all season long has been being 12-round fighters. What is the strategy to close out these final rounds tonight?
You know what? It's sticking to the game plan. I know it sounds cliche, but that's all it is, man. We're always building, and we're always just looking how we can get better. And you know, we're in a great opportunity right now. We're in a good fight now. Let's see if we can get a little halftime lead would be nice. You know, but the boys are fighting, and that's all we can ask for.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, both head coaches were pretty steadfast coming in. They were not going to approach tonight's game any differently than any other game, despite the fact that there are no postseason implications.
You got that right. Nothing's changing for Coach Williams. They're still trying to win. They're still trying to build a championship team. Right? That's what this is all about. One building block at a time to hoist that Champions Cup. They want to be NLL champions one day, and this is just one game closer to it.
Hannah tries Sidewinder.
You know, that pack mentality, they're talking about the pack and the dog pack, and it's not just a play on words. That's really how these guys build in and believe in their coach and what he's doing. The locker room is a tight unit in there, man. They all believe in each other.
Church Matthews eventually shot by Dinsdale. And that should about do it for the possession clock. Vegas has it anyway. You know, asked Coach Williams about his offseason goals. We'll talk more about the draft coming up and free agency, but the one thing he said he was looking for, 12-round fighters as far as players he could potentially bring in.
That's right. Yeah, the other thing I remember him talking about as well was the guys fitting into the locker room, right? Like, it's a team, it's a unit. Whoa.
It's Phillips. Part of that unit with a goal for Vegas.
One of my favorite parts of the unit. I love it how that guy shoots the ball. He's got such a quick release. 17 from Delta, BC. He's just a beauty. He was like in the top 5 in the WLA last year, which is Western Canada's summer league. You see him sidearm that shot and just picks his spot past the glove of Ruska. He's a goal scorer. That guy is a goal scorer, and he's gonna. While he's late in his career coming to the NLL at 27 years old, he's got a lot of seasons ahead of him and hopefully a lot of goals here at Michelob Arena.
Not bad for a 27-year-old rookie, 21st tally of the season. And he is third amongst rookies in goals, assists, and points this year.
You know, I was looking at those numbers, his against Hannah's, and he's having a phenomenal rookie season, kind of in the shadow of Hannah, though, who's just broken out and erupting with 31 goals now. But the quick releases and the quick shots.
Speaking of that, here's Hannah.
The accuracy of Phillips. He's earned a spot on this team. Came into camp and he's earned his position over on that left side shooting.
Midway, second frame. Been close the entire way. Still early on. For a diving Dan Lintner, they were looking backside there. Instead, Vegas takes it away.
Big Lucy by Turner there, getting the ball up.
Turner was taking some face-offs last game with Cleland out. He went 6 for 12.
Yeah.
Loss against San Diego, which was a blowout loss, but as Phillips tries to wind one up again, Coach Williams was saying the score was misleading. Didn't feel to him like the team laid an egg last time, despite the 14-4 game. He feels like his team has been able to limit the silly mistakes, and they have fought in all of their games this year.
These guys try. Their effort is undeniable. Last game at home against San Diego, I don't think they could have played a better game. They were just up against a team that has a little more depth. This team has grit and firepower, and it's led by that coaching core down there. They got a really good thing coming in seasons to come.
They've been clamping down on Robert Church, who has been quiet to begin tonight's game as Greer winds up and misses high.
Are they calling Greer the best dressed in the locker room? One of the best shooters on the team, that's for sure.
This has been kind of an empty possession thus far for Saskatchewan. And it somehow finds its way in. Talk about tough angle. Mike Messenger, somehow, some way.
It's one of those times where, you know, Messenger's been around so long, and my dad always used to say, you got to be good to be lucky, and you got to be lucky to be good. And right there, he was lucky, ended up with a goal. I know Kels would like to have this back. It was a really bad angle from the corner, but the ball just seemed to took a funny bounce and found the back of the net, bringing this game a little closer to 5-6. Coming into tonight, he only needed 3 points for 100 in his career. Messenger's, he's a player. He's wearing that A on his jersey tonight for a reason. He's a leader out there. When him and and Rubish and Dilks, when these guys are playing and contributing, the team follows. Wagner can't stop picking up loose balls. He's a vacuum tonight. Reminded me of Jimmy Veltman back in the day.
Hannah tries almost a power swim move and the backhand shot. That was something new from Hannah. We've seen this swim move before, of course, but nothing quite like that.
That was the two-arm butterfly breaststroke all at once. He got to the cage. He found his way in.
He nearly won the medley there, but instead we saw a shot from Matthews. We're in the under 5 timeout window. By the way, Connor Fields finished the night with 2 goals. Jeff Teat in progress right now for New York. He's got 1 goal. Robert Church has not scored yet, so he's 2 goals behind both of those players in this year's goal-scoring race in the NLL. Currently, Church with 50. Fields' regular season is done with 52. Teat in progress, 52. Hannah tiptoeing behind. Now it's Hellier. And Hannah, there's a swim move. Examining. Hannah stepping middle, and he's got it.
The patience of that offense looked like a veteran core. Hellier leading the way. Rob Hellier's so composed. You know, he fired that ball back to Hannah behind the net, got the ball back in his hands, and just, well, time was running down on that 30-second clock. They had patience, and look at how patient Hannah is here. He waits, creates his own space, and fires it far side. Taking a bit of a limp off the floor there. I know the kid will be okay. What a season he's having, man. What a season.
Only fitting, really, that Hannah, who has perhaps dazzled the most here on this floor, would end his rookie campaign with a strong showing. He's already got the 2 goals. He has 1 assist.
These fans are really, really lucky to watch a player like him come into the league. He's earning his paycheck for sure.
Lintner, nice look for Matthews. That's been kind of the thing for Saskatchewan. Asked Jimmy Quinlan, you know, what's it going to take to put more goals in? He said they've been getting good looks this year, but it's just the shooting has not been very accurate.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Steph Curry gets a lot of shots, and so therefore a lot of balls go in.
Lintner doesn't have the numbers, but tries to take one anyway, and that gets stuck in the gear of Kells, with Lintner paying the price.
By no means do I think Saskatchewan's is like a one-show pony, but you know they rely on Church a lot. Messenger to Church, messenger to Church.
Number 19, a minor penalty for holding the stick.
And in this game in particular, what we're seeing right now is they're stopping Church, they're keeping him off the scoreboard.
That's a penalty on Sam Firth, and this is a timeout with 2:53 to go. You see how Sean Williams feels. His team is up by 2. Get game day ready and shop your favorite team's jerseys and merchandise. Head to NLLshop.com to get all your National Lacrosse League and team gear today. There's gear all over the place here in Michelob Ultra. You walk around Mandalay Bay and the Luxor embedded within this facility, and you see much of the same heading into game day in the midst of a Saskatchewan power play after the call on Desert Dogs forward Sam Firth. But the Dogs can kill some time right now.
The big save by Kells back there. Wide open shot, he got in front of it. Made it look easy.
Desert Dogs have 6 shorthanded goals this year, middle of the pack in the league in that ranking. Hannah elevates for that attempt. He's got a vertical as well.
Nice save back there by Ruska too. You know, in this league, you are not going anywhere. You're not making the playoffs without solid goaltending. If you look at everybody that's playing in the postseason, they're all backed by really top tenders. You know, look at San Diego last week. Vegas ran into a brick wall.
Matthews straight away. Kells makes himself a wall on that occasion.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing out of him. He's making it look easy. He's not jumping around. He's holding his space and taking up a lot of net. There's not much room for these Saskatchewan Rush players to shoot at.
Second quarter winding down. Weak side, it's Hellier's shot is blocked. Coming up in the Guaranteed Rate Halftime Report, it's Rochester's Paul Dawson, a feature report on him. First half stats and a look around the league. Meaningful game going on, featured game this week between San Diego and Colorado in particular. Penalty expires. Firth is back out onto the field. Rush maintained possession. Quick stick attempt on the far side by Keenan. Long lead feed and a nice one by Kells, but no numbers for Vegas, which will back it up. And then Firth throws it away, bailed out by Hellier.
That was a beautiful pass, right on the numbers, right on the money.
That outlet feed you're talking about.
Yeah.
Loose ball push, and that'll keep it with the Desert Dogs, who will use their timeout with 17.7 to go and the shot clock off.
We were talking earlier about Kells, who we backed up last year, Del Bianco up in Calgary, who's known as one of the best passers in the league from the goaltender position, and Kells looked like one of the best right there. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pass. One end of the floor to the other.
As you see Vegas in the timeout to close out the second quarter, been talking about the strong points of this opening season for the Desert Dogs, and certainly to get two rookies that are among the top three in the league in scoring production, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is. They've got, they put this together. They selected a group of guys that are all playing a role, and getting offensive production out of these two rookies is a critical part of the reason why they've won 5 games this year.
And you think too, actually, both of those guys came from Panther City. Phillips was released during training camp last year, didn't make the team down in Fort Worth, and Hanna they had his rights. He returned to Denver to play his senior season, and then he was selected in the expansion draft by Las Vegas. Now, of course, Panther City's had a great year too. Yeah. Anyway,
their sophomore season's been good. You know, it's something to look forward to for us next year here. The Vegas team looking to make the playoffs next year for sure. I really believe Phillips will be back. He's a key part of this offense.
10 seconds left in the first half. 6-on-5 for Vegas. Greer uses the screen. Greer around the back. Phillips on the doorstep. Can't get it to go. And with 1.9, they clear out the chaos as Vegas scrambles back to avoid an empty net situation. 7-5 first half lead going into the break here for the Desert Dogs.
I think Las Vegas did what they wanted to do. They've stopped the high-power offense of Saskatchewan.
Las Vegas bench minor, 2 minutes illegal substitution. 3.
Well, that's not a great omen going into halftime there at the very end.
Yeah, that's something that they're going to want to polish up, though. Williams doesn't like it. He's coming out to find out what happened. There's been a couple minors like that could have been prevented.
He thinks that could have been prevented with a better call.
Yeah.
The officials are telling him to please evacuate the field. Please kindly leave and go back to the dressing room.
Looked like Quinlan was giving him an earful there as well. You know, I was thinking earlier, it's been nice. The referees they've had their whistles in their pocket.
Now, meanwhile, let's go down to Morgan with Jack Hanna.
Thank you, AJ. Jack, you are so creative in making shots for yourself. What are you specifically seeing on the floor tonight?
I mean, you know, it's a little bit different every night, but we got a little bit of space underneath, over the top. Pressure's coming quick. I get the ball to my stick a little bit quicker, but you know, we're running our offense and know we're finding some shots. So.
Well, hopefully we'll see more of that this
Absolutely.
half. What is the message going to be in the locker room to finish this season strong?
You know, it's the last go at it. We got one more half together, you know, to play ball. So that's all the motivation we need. You know, we love each other. It's a good group of guys. So playing for one another in the second half.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hannah's got a pair of goals, but look out, Rob Hellier has 6 assists after the first half of play, so we'll monitor that as well. Strong first half for the home Dogs, 7-5 lead. Saskatchewan doing battle here on the Strip in the regular season finale. The Rochester Nighthawks clinched a playoff berth last weekend with their win over the Swarm. This week, Pat Gregoire and guest host Mitch Belisle caught up with Paul Dawson to discuss the playoffs.
It was a little bit of a skid. Is there a sense of relief in the room now that you guys have got into the dance?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like you know, not the way we kind of wanted to clinch it. Could have done it a little bit earlier, but yeah, definitely happy we did. And yeah, there's a little bit sense of relief, but then, you know, also a sense of job's not finished as well.
You mentioned the back end. Obviously, you guys have had some really bright spots. 2 of them being the play of Matt Gilray and Rylan Reese. What have you really liked from them this season, taking their play to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, just both all-around players. Can score in the offensive zone, can shut down guys, can run the floor. Like, just kind of almost that new age defender, can do it all. Shut down guys, grab loose balls, score goals. And again, if you look at the points they're putting up and like the loose balls, it kind of speaks for himself. But they're both, you know, young horses.
You guys will be facing Toronto in the playoffs. Anything that you look forward to in that first game, or are you still eyes straight ahead for this weekend?
Eyes straight ahead a little bit. Obviously, you know, some things can happen, and we got to kind of take care of this Saturday. But, you know, like anyone we face, you kind of have a book on them already, right? We've played every team in the East kind of 2 to 3 times, so you know what to expect.
Mix. Gonna have to wait for next year. Saskatchewan and Vegas wrap things up in the regular season ender here in Michelob Ultra Arena. And the first half stats. Take a look, Doug. Loose balls advantage for Saskatchewan. Overall, fairly even statistically, but Vegas has the edge on the scoreboard, 7-5.
They sure do. The most interesting statistic that I am noticing isn't up on this board, but with even shots 25-25, 6 of Vegas's goals have come from different players. Jack Hanna having 2, but 6 different players have scored on offense, which is exactly what Williams has talked about all season. Offensive power by committee. They don't care where the goals come from as long as they come.
And Rob Hellier setting the table with 6 first half assists. Las Vegas leads Saskatchewan 7-5 after 2 quarters of play. Guarantee Rate halftime report around the league scoreboard. Big day for Halifax. They not only clinch a playoff berth by beating Georgia, they leapfrog into the 3 seed because Rochester loses to Philadelphia. So the East is settled as of right now. Still waiting for some more action to figure out who exactly is where in the West. Let's take a look in this pivotal game as we just saw a Eli McLaughlin goal for Colorado. Live look-in, San Diego Seals against the Colorado Mammoth. Now, you can take a look at the goal here. What a look. We just dropped into the right time, Doug.
Yeah, we did. That's no fault of Chiliano, who's having a heck of a season. He's one of the goaltenders I was thinking about earlier. He's held Colorado, held them to 5 so far late in the third. These are 2 teams that going to probably clash in the playoffs. McLaughlin's having a heck of a season too.
By the way, I was going to say, and it has to do with this game, because Buffalo beat Albany, Buffalo locked up the #1 overall seed home floor advantage throughout the postseason. So San Diego no longer can play for that. They could be tied with Buffalo for the league's top record if they can win this game, but they are cemented as just the #1 seed in the West either way. Colorado is looking to be the number 3 seed and jump above Panther City. So playoff implications here. This is our NLL game of the week on ESPN2. And not only did the Mammoth get the goal, they're on the power play for another 124.
Home floor is such a huge advantage, whether it's regular season or postseason. You know, more specifically moving into the weeks to follow the postseason when they're playing the best of in series. Having the home floor advantage is huge. It's huge to get into, you know, to the second, third round. And if you look at all the teams that have won the championship, home floor was part of their story more times than not.
And that's been part of the story as we come back live full screen here in Vegas in the inaugural season for the Desert Dogs. This building has already established itself as one of the better environments in the league.
Hostile environment. Some of the other coaches that we've spoken to, they say our fans are incredible. They're really loud. They get into it. Vegas is a sports town, and they're seeing a good ball game tonight, that's for sure.
Vegas knows good entertainment when it sees it. And the Desert Dogs have been.
They have.
Impressive comeback win over Vancouver and some signature wins against top teams in the league here at home. But on the power play coming out of halftime, it's the general manager's son, Ryan Keenan. It's been back and forth here between a 2-goal lead and a 1-goal lead. Keenan gets the rush within 1 again.
He had a career high of 73 points back in 2018. He come into tonight 7 shy of that. But he's been on a tear. He had 7 points last week. You see him here, quick pass from the far side and a quick stick to finds the back of the net. Those quick releases are tough for the goaltenders when they're moving. Quells made the move, but the Rush got the goal.
That's now 2 goals for the Rush on power plays, both off of illegal substitution bench minors.
That's going to frustrate any coaching staff for sure, but that's part of the ball game. Power plays are meant to score, and that's exactly what the Rush just did. They did it quickly too, 20 seconds into the second half.
Power plays meant to score. You sound like Coach Willie there. That's almost like a quote straight from his mouth, I feel like.
Well, if I sound like Coach Willie, I must be doing something right, because that guy, he lives and breathes lacrosse. He's one of the best that ever played the game, one of the most well-respected coaches in the NLL. Thanks for that compliment, Age.
Well, he's a guy, like, he talks about how great the buy-in has been this year, but as we see the scrap behind the cage and eventually it's Rush ball, like, a big part of that buy-in has been because of the respect they have for a legend in the game. You know, he wouldn't say that, you know, when we have our calls with him, but it's absolutely true.
Absolutely. You know, it's frustrating that if you look at the win-loss column, but it's not frustrating seeing how hard his team has played, and you know, that's right from his mouth, and I feel the same way. I'm really proud of this team, being able to watch them all year. They've been in every game that we've watched at home. As far as a first-year team in the NLL, this has been a huge success.
It was a crazy shot right there, Doug. Robert Church went off of the ricochet, nearly around the back that one in. Jack Hanna, they've been using him on the opposite side a decent amount. He drove the right side, or rather the left side, from the goalie's perspective, was saved. Shot by Dinsdale doesn't make it all the way through. Kells looking for the long bomb. Hellier, not the best deep ball threat maybe at 5'8". That might not be your red zone target as a receiver here on NFL Draft Week.
I don't know. I'm not going to disagree or agree with that, but anytime you can get the ball in his hands, you got a chance to score. That was a tough one, though, for sure. Ooh, there's another bar.
It sounded like you were disagreeing. You were like, I'm not going to disagree, but I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, I might have. You might have caught me there red-handed with the cookie, hand in the cookie jar.
It's okay. Like, much of what I say probably is wrong, so you just got to let me know.
Well, I just know this. When I'm playing ball games, I want to put the ball in guys in the stick of guys like Hellier.
Fair enough. Church's shot is denied. He is still empty without a goal. Now 3 behind Jeff Teat. in the goal-scoring race. On the move, it's Kerr showing patience and finding the back of the net.
Let that foghorn breathe. Let them dogs bark. The transition game is back. They came out quickly. That was fun to watch. Connor Kerr, the Swiss Army knife, has been doing it all season. Look at him. He learned his lesson from a few games back. Kept his toes out of the crease. One fake, boom, finds the back of the goal.
Hurst is a guy that can do so many things, Doug, and has already shown as a rookie his capabilities coming out of Rutgers as these teams battle it out for the faceoff and go down to Morgan.
What Connor Kerr can do on the floor all season long for the Desert Dogs, but his younger brother and goalie Colin Kerr was actually signed to the Dogs practice squad in March, but that's just the start of this Kerr dynasty. There are 5 brothers, all who play lacrosse. Cole is a senior midfielder at Syracuse. CJ Kerr is a junior attack at Cornell, and then their youngest brother Caden just committed to play lacrosse at Rutgers, where both Colin and Connor played. And I was able to talk to Connor earlier this week, and he said their dad got them in the game super young, and they've all were super competitive growing up, but now it's so great having Colin out here and playing with the Dogs. AJ?
It's a great story, and I talked to Colin about it myself as well earlier in the year. One of the things he said is the oldest of 5. He never let the younger ones win, and they always came back for more punishment every single time. So he admired the perseverance, but never gave an inch to his younger brothers, and it's paid off for this family as we see some emotions boiling over here early in the third quarter.
Matt Beers got a little aggressive there back behind the goal, gave a real two-handed crunch chop.
Saskatchewan minor penalty number 2, a 2-minute minor illegal cross-check.
Yeah, Firth maybe a little instigating at the very start of it, but then just kind of sat back and watched it happen as Beers lost his mind for a half second there. Easy call, looked like.
He's a big boy, 205-pounder from Coquitlam. He's played for Team Canada. He's had a great career too. There's so many veterans on this team. Got a little aggressive there.
Reached 1,000 career loose balls last game, Doug. Matt Beers.
He had a great game up there in Colorado.
Holden Garland, who has been hailed as the top lefty defender. Saskatchewan pursues this all the way toward the corner boards, kills a bunch of time off their penalty kill. Now he'll go substitute off.
Here's he down there in the box, right? He was pretty aggressive play behind the net, but he's got a soft spot. He teaches the game. He gives back a lot. He coaches the girls box lacrosse up in Canada, and but out here on the floor playing against the men, he's as tough as it gets.
That was a smart play, by the way, I thought, by Garland, because he never possessed the ball, and so only after that whistle blew did the possession clock start. Allows Saskatchewan to kill more time. Clark Walter looking for one. A nice save by Landon Kells.
That was a big save, huge save. Kerr got beat there, and the backbone of the defense, Landon Kells made a stop. That was huge, giving the offense a chance here on the power play.
50 seconds remaining on the man up. These teams are combined 3 for 3 today. Vegas 1 for 1 on the power play. Hannah skipping to the side. Now it's Greer for the far side. Rebound taken in. Hellier long distance. The shot clock buzzer. He's able to connect with Rushka and get the reset. Shot clock and penalty clock are nearly in sync. Greer. Hannah. Step down shot. Again deflected out. And again the reset. Penalty clock at 19. Shot clock is new and first before this one final power play chance on the 2 minutes here. We'll take a break. 9:38, third quarter. Las Vegas 8, Saskatchewan 6. Well, these season awards handed out before the game. Rob Hellier, Team MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Jack Hanna, Rookie of the Year. And you see the rest of the awards as well. And some fantastic players that have helped build a culture for this Desert Dogs team. And a bunch of 12-round fighters. Of course, Jacob Rouet gets that honor. He's been a Swiss Army knife. Get the conclusion here of the Las Vegas power play. Hilliard takes a crack at it, but Rushka is able to get in the way. Let's go down to Morgan for her own version of end-of-the-year superlatives.
Yeah, AJ, you had the serious ones, but I was able to sit down with Coach Williams and get the awards that the people all really want to know. So starting with who's the most fun in the locker room, and it's Connor Kirst taking that one home. And then most improved goes to Sam Firth, just based off his growth all season long. Next, we have Mr. Clutch, the guy coming up in big moments, and that is Zach Greer. And Zach Greer is also taking home best dress, and Coach Williams said that's because he has old man money. And lastly, but certainly not least, I asked who's the best trash talker on the team, and this one actually surprised me. He said some of the younger guys are chiming in. Jackson Subak tries, but AJ, Tor Reinhold is taking that one home.
Reinhold leads the team in loose balls, leads the team in some words as well for the opponent, from what it sounds like. Thank you, Morgan. Doug, can you speak as somebody who's got some old man money about what Morgan was saying about Greer there?
I seen him sharply dressed out in San Diego. He wears the top hat. He knows what he's doing. GQ model.
Ellier off the post. I'm saying you know what you're doing too, man.
Well, thank you, AJ. Thank you.
And that is ripped home by Robert Church. He finally is able to connect halfway through the third quarter in this season-long goal-scoring race. He's still trailing Jeff Teat by a couple, but he's still in the mix.
Well, that's what he's known for, that outside shot. 17's got a laser. He can shoot with the best of them. That makes it, 51 on the year. He's racing for the NLL lead. That brought Saskatchewan fans to their feet. They got a whole section over there in 121. A lot of green jumped to their feet cheering on Churchy.
And we've been looking at this game for a long time, thinking with these teams both in the West Conference, could this game have playoff implications at the end of the year? And I'm sure these Rush fans were eager to make it to Vegas either way, but you maybe booked your flights a couple of months ago and have some hopes about this game. Unfortunately, both teams have been eliminated, but big time race for Robert Church today. Jeff Teat has scored another goal, so he's got a hat trick. He has 54 on the season. Church now with 51.
It'll be fun numbers to watch here going down the last 20-25 minutes.
Church again, shot doesn't make it through. Now that New York Vancouver game is a little bit ahead of this game, so more time left by a little bit for Church, but he's 3 goals back of Jeff Teat of New York. Anna dancing, spinning, still possessing. Give and go for Hellier. Really a two-man game with Hellier. They're able to connect on the rebound there with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, fresh possession.
That two-man game, Hellier and Hannah. Hannah's really picked it up well. It's a good sign. He created his own space, just dumped the ball to Hellier, giving him a really good opportunity to shoot and score.
On the way.
Ruska got in the way.
Speaking of getting in the way, James Barclay has gotten that block and now holds the single season NLL record for most shots blocked in a season.
That's big, impressive stat. And it's a big number that he's reached. He's really the quarterback back there. Throwing his body in front of shots is no easy task. But he sees the ball so well. He's so patient and calm and a pillar in that defense.
This league has been going for a while at this point, and Barclay, 27 blocks. First in league history. That's no easy thing, too. You pay a price for that. Actually, a really funny comment is Firth, at the end of the shot clock, tries to make his way in. Coach Williams said it wasn't until recently they convinced Barclay to wear a jock.
Yeah, that's nuts. Wow, that was a good timing for that one. That is nuts, though. I can't believe I heard that either.
I can't believe you said that, but that was the best accidental pun I've heard in a while. Well, he said it was funny because they were looking at the film and like Barclay was blocking all these shots, but they kept on seeing his hand kind of veer away from his stick and be protecting the groin area. Eventually they're like, dude, you could have that extra peace of mind without needing to move your hand off the stick.
Why are you taking your hand off the stick? Well, coach, that's an awkward conversation.
So they got him to wear the jock is the end of the day, and we'll move on to another topic here out of respect to James Barclay.
The guy that he passed, though, I mean, he passed Reed Bowering, who's an absolute monster. It's a big accolade in Barclay's hat.
No doubt about it. Bowering actually set that record last year, so it's broken for the second straight year. 2 minutes on Mallory.
I think we're going to get another look at it here to see what happened. Maybe not. We're going right to the offense. Let's get 5-on-4.
Got to look at Greer instead, but 1 for 2. Las Vegas on the power play today. Greer thought about it. At the point, Hellier. Now Greer cycles around. Back to Hellier. Faking, passing, deflected. Hanna says why not. Rings the pipe. Deflects off the boards. Got to keep this on their side. They do.
License to shoot for 33.
Hanna has a couple of goals. Hellier has 6 assists. Forgot about the ball there for a second. Phillips did the same thing. Tried the quick stick. Now it's loose. Big loose ball here. And Phillips has a crack at it. Gets it. Big advantage for Vegas. Hanna strikes again. It's a hat trick in this season finale.
This crowd is going crazy. This is as loud as I've heard it in here. They're getting a great game here to the end of the season. What great ball movement by Vegas. They were banging the ball. Looked a little sloppy for a second with a couple missed passes. But look at the determination and the hustle by Phillips. Picks up a loosie, dumps it to Hellier, who backhands it to Hanna. Bounce shot, no mistake. 7th assist for Robbie. And another snipe for the kid, Jack Hanna, finding his 3rd.
Talked about the crowd attendance, nearly 7,000. 69-47 is the number in this season finale. And that's pretty good in a building that for indoor lacrosse seats between 9,000 and 10,000.
You know, that 12-round fighter award that they just talked about when they showed it on the screen went to Rouet. And he's one of the guys you don't even know he's on the floor, but he's gobbled up 10 loose balls already tonight. He's unseen, but he's so effective. That's what that award is all about. He's such a critical player on this team, gaining possession and doing things right. He's a key role player for the Vegas Dogs.
He's gone back and forth between kind of a forward, defense, transition role all year, doing everything.
They were saying when they put monitors on him, he ran almost 10 kilometers in a ball game, which is an incredible amount of mileage.
That somehow dribbles in. Ryan Keenan through the legs, and it trickles home. And while it's felt like the Desert Dogs have had control, and they have had the lead most of the way, the Rush are right there.
Rush Nation up on their feet again, and it comes from a big pick by Goudreau. Boudreau creates the space, and Keenan makes no mistake, really. I mean, he got a little lucky with the roll in. Kel's made the initial save, but the momentum of that lacrosse ball was moving forward and rolled across that goal line. Ryan Keenan gets the 2nd of the night.
He's got 2 with 2 assists, leads the Rush with 4 points. Remember Hellier, by the way, with his 7 assists. He had 10 in a game against Vancouver earlier this year. And that is 2nd among all players in the league this season. Tom Schreiber had 12 in a game for Toronto.
Those are big, big numbers.
Hellier's got a crack at those numbers today with still lots of game left.
18 minutes to go. Yeah, you're not going to keep him off the board that long. Good hustle there by King.
Gives Hannah a chance to go to work. Hannah 1-on-2, back to King. He dunks it in! King does the dirty work and eventually finds the reward.
I love hearing that foghorn here at Michelob Arena. That one's well deserved by number 9. Victoria, BC representing down here in the desert. Hannah swims, little flip pass behind the net, and there's the dunk. What a beauty, acrobats at its best. Cirque du Soleil show by Marshall. 10-8. Vegas.
Talk about the dunk play. That was like a reverse jam.
It's proud to see in a really good game tonight, man. I feel lucky to be here.
Talked about the diversity offensively. Double-digit goals for Vegas. King joins Hannah as just the only players with multiple goals. King scored the first one of the game for Vegas, now gets his second.
What a war zone battle out there. Wagner gets the loose ball, but this was just a scrum. Clellens fights for every possession. His determination at faceoff dot is a guy I want in my lineup when I'm coaching.
Over and back call. It'll be Saskatchewan ball coming off the break. It has been back and forth here between a 2-goal lead and a 1-goal lead since early in the game. Right now, it's Vegas by 2 after this impressive display by Marshall King.
Wow.
Again, we've been monitoring this goal-scoring race. Connor Fields, that game ended earlier today in a Rochester loss. He is wrapped up with 52. Tom Schreiber in Toronto off this week, the end of the regular season. So it's Church chasing Jeff Teat. He has a hat trick today. Church just with 1. And he came into the day 1 goal shy of Teat. So right now, Church 3 goals shy of Teat, but still an opportunity to try and chase that single season goal scoring mark, or the 2023 goal scoring crown, I should say. And that was, I mean, that was openly acknowledged by Jimmy Quinlan. Like, Church is going for it.
For sure. You know, on the flip side, Vegas, they play a help defense, right? They're always trying to take away that outside shot to help their goalies, and they've been effective tonight against number 17.
Neutralized him. Keenan has stepped up with 4 points, shoots that right into the chest there. Kirst is going to take this himself, puts on the brakes just as quickly.
Rob Williams, the defensive coordinator, he's done a really good job with his defensive core this year. You know, they try not to get stretched out, always in a position to slide, you know, take the top away, and that's where Church's goals come from.
Hannah, the swim move, gets a step, checked nicely from behind. What a matchup there. Hannah against the captain, Ryan Dilks. Dilks over 20 turnovers this year. Yeah, good shout out there for Rob Williams, because arguably some of the bigger names are on the offensive side of the ball with guys like Hellier and Greer, now Hannah for Las Vegas. But with this young defensive core, that maybe has been the stronger unit this year, it's probably fair to say, for the Desert Dogs.
Yeah, 100%. You know, they've built a team back there that's got a system, and it's been effective. Looks like 2 minutes coming to the Dogs here. 2 minutes in the sin bin. Going to be number 37 walking off, Jackson Subak.
Las Vegas 37, 2 minutes, illegal cross check.
You know, to me, it looked like a love tap. He's just a big, strong boy, 37.
There's another race going on, by the way, Doug. Subak against Sean Evans of Vancouver for the most penalized player in the league this year. Subak came into the day 1 penalty minute shy of Evans with 77 and 78 respectively. Evans, though, he's already got 4.
Oh, does he?
He got 4 PIMs today.
You know, I'm not one to disagree or agree with referees' calls, but that looked like a good, solid cross check right on the shoulders. You know, unlucky. Maybe he's had a different angle look than I did, but Subak doesn't like it, and I don't think any of the fans here like that either.
Well, if he wants to become the penalty king, though, this year, he would like it. Of course, the goal is to stay out of the box and keep it 5-on-5, but he is now inched closer again to Sean Evans in that race.
Any notch in the record book, I guess, is something to be proud of, yeah. Weren't you mentioning flying down on a parachute if you got an announcer of the year?
Did I say that?
That might have been me just hearing my own thoughts.
By the way, before that whistle, Hannah was facing a triple team, something that Coach Williams was mentioning. I mean, obviously now it's a short-handed situation, but Hannah routinely, in all situations, drawing multiple defenders, something you don't see much from a rookie.
Yeah, and that's a testament to how strong he is. But it also, you know, there's this team, they play by committee. We've said that a couple times. It opens up other guys, and he's got the knack to dish the ball too.
End of the quarter, Hellier, 3 seconds. He's 1-on-3, tough angle shot, that'll do it. Still 38 seconds to go on the power play with Jackson Subak in the sin bin. But again, it's been either a 1 or a 2 goal advantage now for the majority of the game. Kirst tiptoeing his way to a goal. We saw King reverse slam one in. Vegas has the lead after 3. Highlight wins at home this year. Epic comeback against Vancouver for the first win in franchise history, navigating through an 8-goal deficit. Massive second half run. Jack Hanna starring. Phillips, a timely putback goal. And they get the win. It's also, you see some highlights from some other big wins from Las Vegas this season. And you talk about home wins over defending champion Colorado, playoff teams in Calgary and Rochester. There's been some big moments here in Michelob Ultra.
The teams they beat are no slouches. They're all in the playoffs. It really says a lot.
And Saskatchewan has a storied history. They're coming over from Edmonton, won a championship their final year in Edmonton, 2015. And then won 2 more in Saskatchewan. They're disappointed after being a recent 3-time champion to now miss the playoffs for 2 straight years. But it is a first-year head coach in Jimmy Quinlan who they feel confident about going forward. By the way, talked about moving from Edmonton. You know, I have some pride to be able to say that as a Syracuse guy, technically there was like kind of a hiatus, but this franchise actually started in Syracuse way back in the day. Kind of was a different iteration of it, but technically you can go back to, I think they had a brief stretch in Ottawa as well, but started out in Syracuse. Smith trying to start something in transition. Instead, it goes back to Vegas. Power play is done, by the way.
Cool story about Quinlan. Up there, the Edmonton Oilers, the rafters there's a bunch of names hanging from that dynasty back when Wayne was playing. But Quinlan had his jersey retired and hanging from the rafters in Edmonton, which they've since moved to Saskatchewan. Pretty cool to see your name up there beside the great one of the owners of this Vegas Dogs team.
He said it made the move, and he said that his players make fun of him and tell him that as diving in for a goal that's wiped out was Dan Lintner, saying that it feels like every time they look up, it's hanging a little bit higher. Is what his players like to make fun of him about. The only player in franchise history with his number retired, head coach Jimmy Quinlan, number 81. Challenge flag has been thrown there as look at that flag all the way across the field.
Saskatchewan is challenging the no-goal ruling.
Quinlan believes that there should be a goal from Dan Lintner, and that would bring the Rush back within 1. Not a bad time to use it. Pivotal part of the game.
Sure thing. Offensive coordinator down there, Cam Sedgwick. Not a stranger to finding the back of the net themselves. It's close. I don't think he was in. This might post.
So it's about whether he lands, which is in the crease, before or after the ball crosses entirely the plane of the goal. So let's take a look here. He was in the air for a while. Do you have enough there to overturn the call? Do you have conclusive evidence? That look, I don't know that look is conclusive.
That angle wasn't helping me. His foot definitely was not in the crease. However, if he'd landed in the crease before that ball hit the net, that's what they're looking at.
It's all about the timing of the landing there, for sure. That shot doesn't really do it, but you could potentially be able to match up. Remember, they can down there, they can, I think, match up a couple of different looks, right?
Uh-huh.
And kind of go off of where the ball is in one look, match it up to where you kind of see the landing process on a different look and time it out. That would probably be how you do this.
This is probably our best angle.
This, you see the landing here. You're not really going to see for sure when that ball crosses on this look. That's the problem. That overhead look, you see when the ball crosses. Hard to see the landing. This is a good look here.
Well, you see Landon Kells' stick slowed that ball down. He actually made the initial save. His butt end of his stick slowed the momentum down. Here's the call right now from number 8 in stripes.
As a result of inconclusive evidence, the no-goal ruling stands.
There you go. It may well have been a goal. It wasn't a bad challenge. It was really close, but there was just nothing from those looks that we could see that would overturn it.
Sedgy doesn't like that. He played 11 seasons in the big league, the offensive coordinator for the Rush. Started in Toronto back in '98. Cam Sedgwick went through the Stealth organizations down on the West Coast. They kind of trickled all the way up to Washington from San Jose to Washington, and then ended in his career in Vancouver.
Yeah, talk about a team moving locales, but they lose that challenge. They have one more challenge remaining, and Greer is able to score.
You know, for a guy that missed last week, he's sure come out on firepower. The grade 8, double 8s, double donuts. He's a beauty to watch. When he comes across the top here, it's like deja vu for me. That sidearm swipe. Ruska had no chance. He's a true veteran, assistant captain, Whitby, Ontario native. He's grown up. He's got lacrosse in his blood.
Greer's got his second. By the way, Jeff Teat is running away with the goal-scoring race. He's got 5 for New York. Robert Church still stuck at 1. So unless something changes dramatically, you have the Desert Dogs in control. You have Jeff Teat in control. Now, goal-scoring race. Now, the fourth quarter has been the problem area for Saskatchewan all year.
It really has. And that record, you know, that's not something that Rob Williams or Sean Williams want to happen against them. They've been playing excellent defensively tonight, taking away that top shot. This has been a great lacrosse game.
Vegas finally breaking through and extending that lead to 3 goals. Largest advantage of the game. Here's Church. Tries to sneak one in, short side. It'll stay with Saskatchewan.
Griffin Hull, number 6 out there in the defensive unit. I really think he's one of the best stay-at-home defenders that Vegas has. He plays his position so well. He ate up a lot of Saskatchewan's clock there, pushing the ball down there in that far corner before they crossed the ball over to Church to get that shot.
Second round pick, went from a kind of a practice squad guy beginning of the year to a last minute defensive shift player, as Sean Williams described him, one of their top defenders.
Yeah.
Seen that grow throughout the season.
He plays his position extremely well. Another boy from Victoria.
Yes, sir. Hannah tried to brush that one in. Lead feed instead to Dinsdale, and he has a shot saved.
The track meet's kind of slowed down a little bit at the moment. They're playing a little bit more patient, content to play the 5-on-5. They're going with the slower pace at the moment.
After the hesitation, King really had the hot hand tonight. It's felt like King has been comfortable out there trying to carve out a future role for himself. 25 years old out of Victoria.
Check out him on Twitter at Marshall King 3. Marshall J King 3.
Got to get it right.
Yeah, kids won't be able to find him. He's been a dominant force out there in the offense. Had a really good season in the WLA as well last year, and earned a spot on this Desert Dogs lineup.
Played for Calgary with his brother Jesse King. Got traded over here.
I think this is the first time he's not played on his brother's team. Isn't that right?
That's correct. Got to play against him for the first time. Game earlier this year.
The big brother rivalry. Yeah, that was one of the home wins. That was a fun game to watch.
Reached the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Still within reach for the rush. Church into traffic. Deflected behind the goal. Was controlled by Matthews. Church, nice find. Into the helmet or the upper chest area on that shot from Clark Walter.
Great position by Barkley there. Quick feet. No easy task to defend on this rush offense, but they seem to be doing it shift after shift.
35 saves, 8 goals permitted by Landon Kells. Double-digit loose balls for Reinhold, Wagner, and Rouet on the Vegas side. Phillips has to go through the stick, otherwise may have been open. Phillips is engulfed behind the crease there.
That might be in. No.
Well, he would have definitely been in the crease first. He got tackled, and it will be a break. We'll talk about a Saskatchewan player who might be playing his final game when we come back. Our Fanatics turning point, two of the younger dogs, or the pups, so to speak. It's Jack Hanna finding Marshall King, and King showing off some aerial skills for that dunk goal over the shoulder of Lane Rushka. Fanatics turning point of the game.
Crowd there.
Take a look here, Doug, at, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I was talking going into the break about Marty Dinsdale. Or referencing Dinsdale, who we were told, this is, kind of something that's not official yet, but Dinsdale likely to be playing his final game today. 31 years old out of Coquitlam. And a player who's in his 7th year, first year of his second stint with Saskatchewan after coming back in free agency from Vancouver. Dinsdale likely to hang him up, and he's had an awesome career as a forward, so congratulations to him if that retirement is indeed true.
Yeah, right on, man. He really has had an awesome career. Deserves the credit. 10 years in the league since 2013, Calgary, Vancouver, and then he's ended with the Edmonton and Saskatchewan run. He's a manager at a fitness studio up in Vancouver in British Columbia. The guy stays in shape. I saw him this morning. He's shredded.
He's able to backtrack there and defend against Wagner,
who's also in beast mode. That guy could run a track meet with the best of them. He's in incredible shape.
Well, they've had Robert Church's number today. Kells makes another save. That was going to be a 2-on-1, but it's through the stick of Reinhold. Nice loose ball by Jared Smith.
Every position counts at this time of the ball game. 7 miles to go, almost 8 miles left in the game here. It's crunch time, AJ.
Lintner, a tough catch for him to make. That'll end the possession. Swipe back by Reese Dutch, who we have not seen out there much. He is active today, but Dutch has been battling injury this year. Came over in a trade from Colorado. Got some revenge against his former team last time out. Oddly enough, actually scored a game-winning goal against Saskatchewan early in the year in overtime for Colorado. Dutch is the only player to not be making his debut on the Saskatchewan side here in this building. He scored 4 points in a game against Vegas earlier this year, but we have really not seen much of number 10 today until just spotted him. Speaking of Colorado, it was a San Diego 11-8 win over Colorado, so I believe that settles the Mammoth into the 4 seed. It does. Panther City, the 3 seed in the West. Colorado, the 4 seed. That's a goal by Dan Lintner, former high school valedictorian and Cornell alum. He's got some brains, and he's got some brawn as well.
They got them moving. A veteran that you were just talking about there, Reese Dutch, started with the cross pass. He's going to get the second assist on this one. There it goes, and just fake goal. Fakes far side and pulls it back short. And sprawling Landon Kells made every effort he did to get there. He snuck it under his arm. Second goal tonight for Dan Lintner tonight. Cornell Big Red player, that guy. He didn't play a lot in his first couple seasons at Cornell, but he ended up with 20th all-time in career goals for the Cornell Big Red. It's impressive.
Reinhold having trouble. It's taken away from Reinhold. Ryan Dilks makes a play. Saskatchewan's got some numbers, and they're right back within 1. Jake Boudreau, a defensive goal, and it's 11-10.
Boudreau was one of Coach Quinlan's favorite players, the youth coming up in this team. He played as junior for the Excelsiors in Ontario. Robert Morris led them with loose balls with 58 in college. And you see him here fire a ball. Wagner, he used Wagner as a screen. Wagner had good positioning, but that shot was very deceptive. Hard to see for Kells. I don't know if he saw it. He got beat, making it 10-11.
Well, the Rush all year long have seen this happen to them in the fourth quarter. They're hoping to inflict it upon an opposing team. None of that late collapse has plagued the Rush all year, and they get 2 in a row.
Cleland says not now, though, with another face-off win. Loose ball picked up by Wagner. Possession is key at this time of the game.
Face-offs overall have been pretty even. Cleland's had a nice day personally, 14 for 22. When Kirst has been in there, though, he's been 0 for 3. Greer tries to turn the corner. 1-on-2. His shot easily gobbled up by Ruska. Well, both goalies have held their own. 2 youngsters on the late stages of the game. Church's shot maybe blocked by his own teammate.
We're in another race to 13, AJ. Earlier today we were talking about it. Who's going to get to that magic number first?
Yeah, we're right around that area. You love that 13-goal marker as a good sign of who's going to win. The last tie in this game was 2-2. It's been Vegas since the first quarter in front.
Wagner steals one. Big, quick hands by Wall Street Wagner. 77 pushes it.
Here is Tor Reinhold crashing inside. Gets absolutely smacked by Messenger. He got taken out as he charged toward Ruska.
Nobody's going to like that.
We have a timeout, but also some sorting out to do down there.
He went to the cage hard. Torper's a torpedo. He's a tough kid. But he doesn't like that. He's hoping for a call. That's tough defense he just went against.
I don't see any call coming as of right now. Just a hard physical play. Ruska, he's defending himself as well, but Messenger sending a message there to Tor Reinhold.
Yeah, don't get close to our goalie.
Remember to follow the NLL on all of our social media channels for highlights and behind-the-scenes content. We are now on TikTok, so you can follow us at NLL_official. Well, the clock is ticking on the 2023 season. In regulation, at least, 4:59 left coming out of the timeout. No penalty called in that last confrontation. Something to keep in mind, Saskatchewan's played 3 overtime games this year, including their most recent one. Vegas has never played an overtime game in the franchise's short history. Church switches the field. Keenan loaning up. He gets it right back off the miss. No reset here. Shot clock a big factor. Matthews is stopped by Kells.
Kells is coming up big saves at big times. Every save is an accomplishment.
Wagner not across in time. 8-second violation. The Rush come quickly the other way, looking to live up to their name. Keenan. Picked up by Lintner. Saskatchewan has controlled this fourth quarter. Vegas has not scored since the 13-minute mark. Lintner kick save. Kells a fresh 30. Nice loose ball by Reese Dutch. Over 600 career assists and 1,000 career points. Both milestones reached this year, but Reese Dutch and the Rush give it back to the Desert Dogs here.
I think that's 40 saves for Kells tonight. That's a huge number.
How much of that is the looks they've been feeding him versus kind of his own ability to make top-level saves as Greer scores? Crucial goal, putting Vegas up by 2 again.
Old man money pulling some cash out at the clutch time. Double down, we're in Vegas, kid. 8s are wild. What a key goal at a critical time in the game. Pump fake, far side. 88 makes no mistake. This crowd is electric right now. They really want to win. You mentioned it earlier. They really are one of the best crowds in the league. I'd like to give them my vote as the best tonight.
They've been really into this. And, it's the final chance for a while to catch this team play. Hellier now up to 8 assists. Hellier and Hanna both assists on that goal. Hanna now with 3 goals, 4 assists to 7 points. The hat trick for Greer. Now the sense of urgency heightens for Saskatchewan.
Look at that defense.
But Church maintains possession, and Keenan goes top cheddar.
Really, really strong effort there. We're going to take a look. Clellan was pushing in the far corner. He escaped, found an open Rush player who makes a quick face dodge and makes no mistake. Pushes it over the shoulder, right over the right shoulder of Landon Kells. Over the shoulder shot by Ryan Keenan. Back of the net, brings it back within 1.
Keenan's father, Derek, played a long time in the league as the general manager and former head coach of the Rush. First son to be drafted by his dad, of course, next year for the Desert Dogs. Right now, this is a close game. Our focus on this game, but we know that in the offseason, Sean Williams told us point blank, yes, they are looking to trade up, get the #1 overall pick, draft his son, Dyson Williams, who, by the way, had 6 goals today for Duke in a win over Syracuse. The Rush, though, are within 1 with the ball.
That would be exciting for the city of Vegas. Dyson Williams is a natural born scorer. I think he's got 46 on the year down there. Don't quote me on that, but it's 40 plus.
He's the consensus #1 pick. Coach Williams said they're not going to sell the farm to try and get him, but they really want to figure out a way. No surprise there. Rush looking for the tie. Going around the cage, Walter was stopped. 2:18 left in the 2023 season for these two teams, assuming this one doesn't get extended to an extra period. Vegas has not trailed except for the first quarter, yet it's been close the entire way. Another chance to tie for Saskatchewan. Under 2 minutes to go. Keenan. He's had the hot hand, and he's got one more. It's the 4th goal of the game for Ryan Keenan, and it's a brand new game, 12-12.
Knotting it up at 12s. Keenan made no mistake there, number 15. We're just talking about him. He takes the ball right in the slot there, right in the middle. And he just fires it sidearm. Beating Kell's far side. He had too much time. A shooter like Keenan, you give him that much time. You know, the guy's got 20 goals in the year coming into tonight, 66 points. He had 7 points last week. He's a goal scorer. Having that much open space that close, you know, you're going to score more times than not at this caliber of play.
He's reportedly been battling injury this year and put up some nice numbers despite playing through a really difficult injury to play through, according to what we've heard. But now 90 seconds to go. All of a sudden, Saskatchewan has taken some control in a 4-2 fourth quarter edge, what's traditionally been a weak point for them this year. A chance to go ahead, but an illegal pick is set. Tor Reinhold advances, and Vegas has an offensive chance. They're going to go quick. Here's Greer. He's stopped by Rushka.
Good look, a better save there. Rush back in possession with about a minute to go.
What a fitting finish to the 2023 home season. An entertaining game here in the doghouse. Both teams really going back and forth, trading possessions. These pivotal moments late. Reed Reinhold clears it. Reinhold takes it all the way in. He leaps and he's stopped. Rushka did a full 360 looking for the ball. He got the save.
Oh, Reed wanted that one.
And a snipe by Matthews. 38.1 left, and Saskatchewan leads for the first time since the first quarter.
Section 121 over there loves what they're seeing. The Desert Dogs fans have been quieted. This transition goal comes with fire laser from outside. He makes no mistake. Number 42 pounds the back of that net. He was angry at that top corner. Mark Matthews, man, he's a proven goal scorer, and he had too much time. The assistant captain tonight, absolute laser silencing this crowd.
You win the face-off here if you're Vegas. Timeout coming, most likely?
I'd imagine so, yeah. Get a game plan together and go get a quality shot down there.
Well, Messenger and Cleland are both so good at what they do. They're both plus 50% players this year.
I know Ken Millen over there, offensive coordinator's got a plan up his sleeve.
The goal call on the field is confirmed.
You know, assuming they do get possession and do call a timeout, I know they'll have something pre-planned for this time of the game, and it's going to come right down to the wire.
Here it is. Cleland, clean takeaway and a timeout. Now, it is worth noting, Doug, that this game does not any longer have 2023 NLL draft implications. And the reason why is because Vegas is locked into the 4th spot.
Okay.
Now, if Vancouver had won and beaten New York, then there's a scenario where if Vegas were to lose, they would be the 3rd pick, but Vancouver lost. And so with a loss, Vegas would be tied with New York and still, because of the tiebreaker there, get the 4th pick. So Vegas is locked into number 4. They're not thinking about that down there, but I'm just saying, I don't really have to think about that up here either. And so if you're the Desert Dogs, this is just for pride here, trying to win this game against Saskatchewan, which has come back and taken its first lead since early in the game.
Well, here's where the X's and O's matters. They were just drawing it up. Williams and Millen, 2 offensive powers in their day. This is going to be a fun 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. Crowd wants them to score. I want them to score right now. I want more lacrosse. I'm not ready for the season end.
We'll see. Shot clock, game clock are close by. Hannah got open, but the shot was deflected. into the stick of Rushka. Vegas needs a turnover. Rushka throws it up the field. It is loose and up for grabs, but Messenger, the loose ball leader, had it for a moment. Empty net for Vegas. It's kicked toward the corner. Kirst racing over. The Rutgers star can't get it cleanly. It's Messenger with the ball for Saskatchewan. And that will do it. The Rush come back after nearly a game-long deficit and stun the Desert Dogs in the fourth quarter. A 13-12 final puts a wrap on the 2023 season for each of these teams.
As a lacrosse fan, what a game. What a game. A come-from-behind win for Saskatchewan. Disappointment for the Vegas Desert Dogs. No one, they don't want to lose any game. But you can't say enough about their effort. They scrapped, they fought. I'm proud of how those boys played. And a couple unlucky bounces there in the fourth quarter. They surrendered the lead, and that's the ball game.
We'll come back and hear from one of the members of the winning team as the Rush win back-to-back to close out their season.
Short side scores. The mailman takes the top corner three. Down the cross. And he buries it. Score. Robert Church bounces one home with 33 seconds. Oh, make it 15. Austin Stubbs.
The March to May is brought to you by NLLshop.com, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. And by Guaranteed Rate. Now more than ever, you need the best. And the March to May is officially complete. Mark Matthews, the game-winning goal for Saskatchewan. He's joined by Morgan Wirth down in the field.
Thank you, AJ. Mark, game winner to close the season. Walk me through that last goal.
Oh, we just wanted to get a shot on net. We only had about 40 seconds or something, and you don't want them to have the last shot, and just fired it and happened to go in.
You guys didn't go away the whole game, even though you were down. What was the message in the locker room to come out and close this season strong?
Well, it was up there. We had a lot of shots. We just couldn't can anything. Get on a little bit of a run, and when we did go on the run, our defense made the stops, and we got the win.
Well, it was really impressive to see, and with the season coming to the close, what did it mean to step on this floor one last time with this group of guys?
Yeah, there's great guys. I mean, we got guys that are playing in their last games of their career. Marty Dinsdale's retiring after this, and playing with him for 5 or 6 years. It's great to see him end his career here and with a big win.
Mark, thank you, congratulations, and enjoy the off time, the off season. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, our thanks to you, Morgan Wirth, Doug Bellamy up here, and AJ Cannell saying so long, and thank you really to our entire crew. Frankie Alliswag producing, Joe Kruger directing, Kimberly Booth-Higgs for her help all year in a production role, Keith Sneddon, and the entire Desert Dogs organization. We thank you for a great inaugural season. Today, it was the Saskatchewan Rush who had the final say with a 13-12 victory. Doug, you said the race to 13. You were right again in your closing call. The end of year one for Vegas, 13-12 Saskatchewan.